Hey guys, it's Prickly Hedgehog here, and this is just a short video on how to attach your Fantec Shifter to the Fanatec table clamp, which when I looked at the instructions, it does make sense once you look at it, but I noticed that there were quite a few people online asking the same question, and like I said, the instructions are not explicit, but are able to be deciphered if you give it some time. And I also noticed that when I was looking on how to do it, there wasn't a heck of a lot of information out there, either via video or online, just on how you do that. So I thought, well, why don't I give a quick explanation? So, if you're like me, you have a table clamp because you don't have a racing seat. The office chair is the racing seat, and everything else is attached to the desktop, which is okay, except of course if you mount this the shifter here onto the horizontal piece here, your shifter is way too high. So the best place is to put it on the side and mount it down lower so that your shifter is not sticking way up in the air. Now, believe it or not, this is actually pretty straightforward. What you need to do, obviously, you need to look at the bolts that are provided when you bought your shifter. If you've still got hold of those, this will make things a lot easier. Basically, what you need is these little guys here, which again come with the shifter, these little plastic squares which have a screw feed on the inside there, which may be a little bit difficult to tell from here, but that's what you need. You'll need a couple or 4 of those. I've used 4 in this particular mount. These, I'm not going to take this apart, so I'm just going to demonstrate from a visual point of view, but these bolts here, if you can recognize those, they have a screw feed on it, and obviously you need your Allen key or Allen wrench that came with your, there's 2 of them, with your Fanatec shifters as well. Now, on the bottom edge of the shifter, on the front of it, you can see, obviously there's mounting places to mount it on top, but what you need to do is you actually need to take these little corner pieces off here, which again you need that smaller Allen key or Allen wrench. You screw those off. These will just slide off, okay, on each side, and that allows you access to slide these little guys that I mentioned before, and they go up into these little railings here. There's a little slot for them, and that allows, so they sit, excuse me, underneath here, and so that allows you to kind of line them up and then screw them down onto the clamp itself, tighten the whole thing up, and now suddenly, hey presto, you have that side mounting. So again, it's just the access to these is through these little corner pieces. You screw those off, then you can slide in the plastic bolts, position them where you want, based on height, so on and so forth. And you can see there's quite a lot of spaces to mount these. I've just done it as a 4 because it was just straightforward. Line up the plastic pieces. I used a screwdriver just to kind of knock them into place. Once they were lined up with the holes, I started getting them into place, and then once I was satisfied that everything was where I roughly wanted it, or at least where I wanted it, screwed it all down, and as I said before, hey presto, suddenly you've got your side mounting, and now rather than having it on the top, which I said before is kind of too high for most people, it's down on the side in a position which is more accessible for a realistic driving experience. So I hope that helps. Hopefully we'll see you online in the racing environment. Take care, guys, and I hope this is somewhat useful for you. Cheers.